Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to go through the cost of my Darth Vader suit, and I feel that when I do this, it's going to actually hurt quite a bit. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great and I love it, but at the same time, when you sort of start totting up the numbers, yeah. So we're going to see how this goes. First things first is that it wasn't done just in one big purchase. So it wasn't like I just went into the shop or went online or whatever and just paid this sum of money. That's not what happened. This has been over the course of quite a few years, and what I'll do is just break it down and yeah, let's go. So first off is the Ruby's costume. Now I'm including this because I've cannibalized parts from the Ruby's costume, namely the shoulder armor, the chest box, the belt boxes, the shin guards, and also the codpiece as well. So because I've taken those parts from it, I'm going to include it. That was, get ready, £1,200. Now, there were a few years ago that I bought it, and what I've thrown away from that is, I haven't thrown away, I've still got it, but it's the bodysuit, because it's not good. And feel free to go back to one of my other videos to have a look at that. There's plenty of people online that are showing it off as well. I really think it's not good, so it don't get used. And that's the, oh, and the belt as well. So the actual belt that comes with it, again, I've mentioned this in another video, but the belt is just some foam type black foam thing, and yeah, it's not good. So I ditched that and got just a leather belt. So up to £1,200 as we talk. And the helmet that I got with the Ruby's costume, threw that away. That is not a good helmet. It's weirdly shaped. It's weird round the neck part. It's just bad. It's not a good Vader helmet. You can get far better, and I think they sell it separately as well, and it's still not cheap. It's not a good helmet. Do not buy it. It's not good. The helmet's plastic as well. Now look, this is going to happen with any plastic helmet that you buy. It's the same with the Black Series ones and pretty much any other plastic helmet because of the way that they're made. But the dome is really thin. It's like millimeters thin. And the real versions and real replica versions are made from carbon fiber, yeah, made from fiberglass. And so it's a lot thicker and it looks a lot sturdier. And so that is something that you're just not going to get with a plastic helmet at all. Now, the version I use, and I have got, and I am going to show this off, not show it off, I am going to showcase this at some point, but I do have a Revenge of the Sith Master replicas, and that is really, in terms of the outside visuals, perfect. It's great, so I will show it at some point, but I don't use it. I don't like it for a number of reasons in terms of from a wearability perspective, whereas the one that I like to use is the Black Series, and the Black Series one has a lot of benefits from the wearer perspective, which is great. But that helmet I paid about £150 for. Now, I actually had the dome modified on that. I did quite a bit of it myself, but I went and got it painted professionally. I've got a friend, he owns a spray booth, so I was quite fortunate like that. And so he's a professional car painter. And I said to him, hey, look, can you help me out? He was like, yep. But it was quite a lot of paint to get it there. And plus, it's time and labour as well, which, irrespective, it's fair. £300 is what it cost me to have that done. So with everything else that I've modified that helmet to have, which is the tusks, I've modified the eyes, I've modified some, sorry, not modified, but I've added in some fans and the speaker and the MP3 player. we're up to £525. So we've got 1,200 plus £525. Let's get a running total. Next up is the bodysuit. Now, the bodysuit, I actually think is really good value for money. Again, I appreciate this is a lot of money to spend on a costume. I get it. But if you're wanting to get it looking really good, then what you're going to get out of the box ain't great. And I mean, like rubies, I'm talking even the new one, the Jazzware one, which looks way superior to rubies. But even so, it's built to fit a lot of people. It's not built to fit specifically an individual. And that's a still expensive suit, is that? I think they're about £1,000. That's way better than the rubies one, by the way, way better. So if you're going to get one out of the box and you've got that money to spend, get that one. But my advice is, if you're interested at that level of interest, then get a bodysuit made for you. I used a company called Crow Props. One of the bigger YouTubers mentioned them in one of his videos, so I checked them out. I used them. They were really efficient. And for the full bodysuit in real leather, £260. I think that was absolutely great value for money. So let's add that to the total. So the shoulder armour, as I've mentioned, that is part of that is off rubies. There's a lot of modifications that I've made to that myself. You know, things like making it so that the shoulder bells sit flush to the actual armour, making them so that they snap back with lycra and things like that. Those things I'm not going to include because that's my own time and labour. So yeah, you don't include any of that. But I did have it painted. Again, I used my friend who owns the body shop, and that was £150 to get that fully painted. With automotive paint that makes it look thicker, it makes it look sturdier, way better than the paint job that you get out of rubies. Again, the rubies paint job, not so good. And then just the chain itself. So the chain on the armour is not what comes with it. And it looks more like you get in, exposed like in Revenge of the Sith, or Return of the Jedi, or what have you. And that was £10, nothing. So let's add that to the total. That's £160. And the gloves, again, I went and purchased some that I like the look of, that I think sort of fit the look that went with the whole suit. And they were £110. So the rubies ones gone, the new real leather ones, yep, in, and £110. Let's add that to the total. And so next, I'm just going to talk the electronics. So the electronics that come in the chest box and come in the belt boxes are not very good in rubies. I don't know, they may have upgraded them now from when I bought it, but I seriously doubt it. And particularly with the coin slots that flash, they flash like crazy on rubies. Feel free to check out any rubies costume, you'll see what I'm talking about. They don't flash like that, they flash slowly and more in sort of sequence. But they were £25 for those electronics, and for the belt boxes for both, £20. So that is an extra 45. Let's add that to the total. And as mentioned, the belt, got rid of that. Just a normal black belt that you can buy in any supermarket or any clothes shop or whatever. Just has to be a certain thickness. I think it's 1.5 inch. But yeah, that was £15. So yeah, there you go. And so the on the belt there is that like clasp looking thing in the middle, and it's metal in the real versions, the film versions, whereas in the rubies one it's plastic. Again, I've mentioned this in a video before, but I paid £50 for that, and that in itself was well worth it. Also in the belt boxes, the little sort of like nubs, the little 6 little nubs on each side, they were £10 for 12 of those. And so again, I got those from Phoenix Props, I believe. Again, well worth it, but £60. So let's add that to the total. So the robe. Now the robe is something that again came with rubies. I got rid of that. It were really thin. It's see-through. It really is see-through. Same with the cape. So I got rid of that. That was again for Phoenix props. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't. That was from Crow Props, and that was £60. So let's add that to the total. And the cape. So I've kept the rubies cape, but I have had it lined with satin, and that makes the world of difference because the cape that comes with rubies is see-through. You know what? I'm actually going to put another image up to show you because it just demonstrates that it's see-through and that just don't look good. So if you have it satin lined as I have, then that totally changes it, completely changes it. And that was so £40 is what I paid for the labour. So I went to a professional sewing company, well, sewing shop, and I said, hey, can you do this? They said, yeah, we can. And they did an absolutely great job. The material, £20. So £60 all in to have the cape lined in satin. And again, great job. So very happy with that. But £60, let's add that to the total. The final thing that I'm going to mention that I've changed is on the chest box, you've got those two kind of metal strips that go down either side, and those are plastic on rubies. And the reason why I changed them is that I'd noticed that they'd started to wear through and they're black underneath. I'm just being an overly perfectionist in this respect. You could just paint them and they will look okay. They will, but I saw some metal ones, again Phoenix props, saw them and I just went, you know what, I'm buying them. £10, so you know, no big deal. But anyway, let's add that to the total. And finally, the boots. Now, you can just get some black boots. You can just get some, I guess, Soviet boots, and I'm pretty sure you can get them for somewhere like, I don't know, £20, £30, whatever. The ones I got, and I've shown these as well, were £120, and I've got these ones because they had metal on the sole. I've talked about this anyway, but like they had sort of like metal on the toe cap and also on the rear, and I just liked that look. They are not something that would, I guess, be 501st approved. I know that. I don't care about that, but they look good with the suit, and so yeah. And to be fair, if you're 5 foot, sorry, if you're 6'5", 6'6", you've got no worry in terms of height. But if you borderline 6 foot, you're gonna need that extra height. You need it because Vader is such a tall character, and again, I am borderline in that height range, so I need that extra height. That is just the nature of it. You know, I'm not in a position where I'm super short, and so I can't get away with it. But I do need that extra height. That's just life. And so yeah, I got those types of boots, and so like I said, that's £120 to the total. And so, as long as my maths ain't absolutely gone crazy, which hopefully it hasn't, then I have got that this comes to a grand total of £2,625. Now, admittedly, that is a lot of money, a huge amount of money to pay for a costume. And I'm sat here saying it and thinking, whoa, like what I could go do with that kind of cash. But it wasn't like I just literally went and spent it in one go. It's been over the course of a lot of years. And anyone who has built a Vader costume will know that it does take time. Yeah, you can go spend, you know, a big chunk of change, buying something like the Jazz Wares or the Rubies, and then there's other cheaper versions online that'll do for a party or whatever, if you want to go a Halloween or whatever. But I kind of got a little bit sort of obsessed with it, and I just sort of found myself sort of wanting to do a bit better and a bit better with it and a bit better, and it became a bit of a project really. So I guess that's my justification for it, is rather than sort of, I don't know, that is my justification, is that it became a project, and I've enjoyed building it, and to be fair, it is something that is cool, Obviously, Darth Vader is, and there's a reason why I like Darth Vader as a character. Well, there's a couple of reasons, but the first reason is that obviously he's so recognizable. Like, I don't think I can't imagine there's anyone on the planet who doesn't know that character. He's so well known. The second thing is I really like the whole story arc of Darth Vader. I think Darth Vader is, someone that's has got so many levels of depth to him as a character, and I really like that. He's not a one-dimensional character whatsoever, and I like that. And so to be able to portray that character in various different circumstances is great. And I guess it's just become a bit of a hobby. I right enjoyed it. But anyway, that's the whole costing involved. I hope you really liked the video. If you made it to this far, I'd really appreciate a like, and I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. Again, I've got a lot of content that I want to bring, and of course, I'm a small YouTube channel. I'm just learning. I'm learning how to edit. Sub story, but seriously. So if you have made it this far, really appreciate that, and a like and a sub would be amazing. So, thank you.